0.38 LMT, that is approximately 50%. And this reflects the improved planning, advanced stocking, and efficient logistics managed by the government. The supply position continues to be strong in the states. The urea availability as on date is 73.81 LMT, and the DAP availability is 23.47 LMT. For other fertilizer also, the availability, the stock position is very good, and this supports the strong opening position for the ongoing Kharif season. There is no change in MRP of fertilizer. The domestic production and import of fertilizer after the crisis has been as strong as ever. The total domestic production of various fertilizer has been 62.37 LMT, and the imports, about 15.39 LMT of imports have reached our shores. So approximately 78 LMT of fertilizer has been added to the availability in the crisis situation. The global tender has already been there for urea, and about 38 LMT will be, we have the assured supply of urea of about 38 LMT. And the global tender for phosphatic and potassic fertilizer has also been floated for globally for 19 LMT. And the availability of fertilizer inputs is being regularly reviewed at all levels in the department. And to sum up, the fertilizer security remains strong, stable, and well managed. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Sujata. Updates from the Petroleum Ministry.
नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि वेस्ट एशिया क्राइसिस के चलते हमारे एनर्जी इंपोर्ट्स क्रूड और एलपीजी और नेचुरल गैस के अफेक्ट हुए हैं, परंतु भारत सरकार की ये कोशिश रही है कि आम जनता को कम से कम परेशानी हो। इसके चलते डोमेस्टिक एलपीजी की सप्लाई 100% एश्योर की गई है। जब थोड़ा सा बुकिंग पीरियड को भी मैनेज करने की कोशिश की गई है। इस संबंध में मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूँगी कि हमारे किसी एलपीजी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर पर कोई ड्राई आउट नहीं है, और हमारी ऑनलाइन बुकिंग लगभग 98% तक इंक्रीज़ हो चुकी है। डिलीवरी ऑथेंटिकेशन कोड से लगभग 93% डिलीवरी एलपीजी सिलेंडर की डिलीवरी की जा रही है। कमर्शियल सप्लाई अभी भी 70% पर रेस्टोर है, और ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनी के ईडीज़ की जो 3 मेंबर कमेटी है वो और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के कोऑर्डिनेशन से कमर्शियल एलपीजी की सेल कंटिन्यूड है। इस महीने हम लगभग 1,92,532 टन कमर्शियल एलपीजी की सेल कर चुके हैं। कल भी 8,500 टन के करीब कमर्शियल एलपीजी की सेल हुई है। ऑटो एलपीजी की सेल इस महीने 10,250 टन के करीब है। ऑटो एलपीजी की सेल कर्नाटका, तमिलनाडु, तेलंगाना, वेस्ट बंगाल और राजस्थान में काफ़ी वृद्धि इसमें देखी जा रही है। 5 किलो के सिलेंडर्स की सेल भी जैसा आप जानते हैं काफ़ी वृद्धि हुई है, और इस महीने 21,75,000 के करीब सिलेंडर बेचे जा चुके हैं। कल भी लगभग 70,000 सिलेंडर की सेल हुई है। अवेयरनेस कैंप कंटिन्यूड है। कल भी 190 कैंप में 5,663 5 किलो के सिलेंडर्स की सेल की गई। नेचुरल गैस के संबंध में अभी तक मार्च के महीने से लेकर अभी तक 5,78,000 पीएनजी कनेक्शंस गैसीफाई किए गए हैं। 2,66,000 कनेक्शन के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट किया गया है, और 6,47,000 नए कस्टमर कनेक्शंस के लिए रजिस्टर हुए हैं। आज तक लगभग 43,000 से अधिक पीएनजी कंज्यूमर्स ने अपने एलपीजी कनेक्शन सरेंडर किए हैं। रिटेल आउटलेट्स पर ऑपरेशन नॉर्मल है। कुछ स्थानों पर पैनिक बुकिंग देखी जा रही है, और वहाँ पर हम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ टच में भी हैं, और ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनी सभी रिटेल आउटलेट्स पर सप्लाई इंश्योर करने के लिए सभी संभव कदम उठा रही हैं। आप लोगों के माध्यम से मेरी जनता से प्रार्थना है कि कृपया पैनिक बाइंग से बचें और आवश्यकता के अनुसार ही परचेज करें। क्रूड रिफाइनरीज ऑप्टिमम ऑपरेशन पर हैं। इन्वेंट्रीज हमारी मेंटेन्ड हैं, एडिक्वेट इन्वेंट्रीज। इसके अलावा केमिकल, फार्मा और पेंट सेक्टर के लिए भी C3 C4 मॉलिक्यूल्स की सेल की जा रही है। 9 अप्रैल से लेकर अभी तक 9,400 टन प्रोपिलीन और 1,000 टन ब्यूटाइल एक्रिलेट की सेल विभिन्न रिफाइनरीज के द्वारा की गई है। एनफोर्समेंट भी एक्शन जारी है ताकि किसी भी तरह की माल प्रैक्टिस को रोका जा सके। कल लगभग 2,300 रेड और इंस्पेक्शंस की गई हैं। लगभग ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज के द्वारा भी सरप्राइज इंस्पेक्शन जारी हैं और कल उन्होंने 50 डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को शो कॉज नोटिस दिए हैं और 11 पर पेनल्टी भी इम्पोज की है। अंत में मैं सभी लोगों से ये प्रार्थना करूंगी कि पर्याप्त मात्रा में LPG, पेट्रोल और डीजल की उपलब्धता है, इसलिए अफवाहों से बचें और पैनिक बाइंग से भी बचें। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Sujata. Over to Mukesh ji for Shipping Ministry updates.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon. The Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways continues to coordinate with Ministry of External Affairs, Indian missions and maritime stakeholders to ensure seafarer welfare and uninterrupted maritime operations. All the Indian seafarers in the region are safe and no incident involving Indian flagged vessels has been reported in the last 24 hours. The control room has handled 8,155 calls and more than 17,000 emails since its activation. In the past 24 hours, 121 calls and 285 emails have been received. The ministry has facilitated the safe repatriation of more than 2,857 Indian seafarers so far, including 28 in the last 24 hours. Port operation across India remains normal and no congestion reported. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh ji. Now we take questions from the first row. 238, 67, 214, 262, 209, 280, 51.
Hi, I'm Dhruv from Economic Times. Thank you for letting me ask a question. Sir, yesterday there was a release which said around 50,000 crores will be spent for procuring more Indian flagged ships. Sir, can you share any details by when can we expect the tenders and what will be the which will be LNG ships, which will be crude oil carriers?
Thank you. Amar Zadi from PT. A couple of questions. One to Sujata ma'am. The oil prices have risen to 4-year high. How do you see that impacting India vis-a-vis price as well as the import bill? To Mukesh sir, adding to what Tuesh asked, is this the ships that we are looking at? Will they be manufactured in India solely, or will they be manufactured as joint venture with foreign companies?
Sukal from the Indian Express. First question to Sujata ma'am. Ma'am, airlines had written to their nodal ministry, which is the Ministry of Civil Aviation, a few days back, seeking some very specific interventions from the central government. I'm sure your ministry also got a copy of the letter. They wanted the price, the crack spread band on ATF to be fixed between $12 and $22 per barrel. As well as removal of, as well as also not having two different prices for domestic flights and international flights. These were the two, uniform pricing for both. So these were the two specific demands as part of the representation that they'd made. Considering ATF pricing is to be revised soon, just wanted to understand if there's been any discussion between MOPNG and MOCA on this, and what is the government's view currently. Another question for Mukesh sir. So over the past few days, there have been a few incidents where foreign flag vessels with Indian seafarers on board had either been shot at, or there were warning shots fired by the Iranians, the Iranian Navy as well as the Coast Guard in different instances. If you could give us an update on the well-being of the Indian seafarers that are on board those vessels and what is their status currently. Thank you.
मैडम, मैं संजीव राठी UNI वार्ता से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि आपने कहा कि LPG की पर्याप्त उपलब्धता है देश में, तो क्या अभी निकट भविष्य में जो समय सीमा 25 दिन की शहरों के लिए और गाँवों के लिए 45 दिन की गई थी, उसमें कुछ कमी करने का वो है?
Yeah, hi, my name is Danish Anand. My question is for Mukesh, sir. So there are reports around 6 super tankers carrying 12 million barrels of Venezuelan crude to India. Could you add something to that?
Yeah, third group, yeah, please.
This is Sandeep Das from Financial Express. Aparna ma'am, this question is about how much is the urea production in the month of March and April? And if you can give us a breakup of this 7.8 million tons of, you said, production and imports have added to the stock. So what is the breakup? And how do you assuring that the demand for about 17 or 18 million tons of urea during Kharif will be met?
Hi, I'm Rakesh Kumar from New Indian Express. My question is to Sujata ma'am. Ma'am, since the oil price has gone up in an international market, so is there any plan to government to come up to help the oil companies to offset these losses? Also, the yesterday finance ministry said it is inevitable to pass the higher energy cost to household and industry. So your take.
I'm Atul Mathur from the Times of India. Sujata ma'am, wanted to ask about LPG connections. There are about 43,000 people who have so far surrendered their LPG connections. Don't you think this number is very less considering a lot of the number of people who actually hold both PNG and LPG connections? So what is government's plan on that? Initially, we were told that oil companies will write to people to surrender their connections. Are they doing that? And a lot of people want to have new LPG connections, those who are relying on small cylinders. So is there any plan to start accepting applications for new connections? Thank you.
Hi, this is Asim from Informist Media. My question is for Sujata ma'am. Ma'am, you just said that there is a growth in the sales of auto LPG. So what is the reason for that? Because logically people should be shifting to petrol, like in the time of shortage of LPG. So why is this rise?
Thank you. We'll start with the answers.
So I will start with the last question. ऑटो एलपीजी के सेल में जो ग्रोथ मैंने आपको बताया, दिस इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द सेल्स ऑफ ऑटो एलपीजी फ्रॉम PSU ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज outlets. So the reason is that the demand has shifted from the private parallel marketers who were there in the market and earlier giving the or selling the LPG. Now that has shifted to the oil marketing companies. So that's one reason. PNG कनेक्शन आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं कि अभी सरेंडर जैसा आप जानते हैं 40-42 हज़ार इज़ अ लो नंबर. वी एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी मोर, और इसीलिए गवर्नमेंट ने ये ऑर्डर भी निकाला है, और जिसके हिसाब से इट इज़ नॉट एडवाइजेबल टू हैव बोथ द कनेक्शंस. और इसके लिए ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनी नहीं लिखेंगी, CGD कंपनीज विल राइट टू दीज कंज्यूमर्स. और एक असेसमेंट जैसे मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था, अब भी हो रहा है कि ऐसे कितने लोग हैं जिनके पास दोनों कनेक्शंस हैं. सो उसके बाद इसके ऊपर कोई भी डिसीजन कैन बी टेकन. ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज ने लिखा है मंत्रालय को, और दे हैव रेज सर्टेन इश्यूज. इसके बारे में मैं सिर्फ इतना ही कहना चाहूँगी कि दिस इज़ अ कमर्शियल डिसीजन between the oil marketing companies and the airlines. So one is a buyer, one is a seller. I'm sure they will settle it. LPG की सप्लाई जब मैंने कहा सफिशिएंट है, हमें इसको इस बात को जब हम सुन रहे हैं तो वी हैव टू कीप द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑल्सो इन आर कंसिडरेशन. और जब मैं अपनी ब्रीफिंग शुरू कर रही हूँ तो मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि हमारी जो इम्पोर्ट है वो अफेक्ट हुआ है. इस वजह से ही आप देख रहे हैं कि हमारा जो कमर्शियल LPG है, जितना हम पहले देते थे उसका अभी 70% ही दे पा रहे हैं. डोमेस्टिक के अंदर 100% इंश्योर करने के लिए हमने कुछ रैशनलाइजेशन भी किया है, कदम भी उठाए हैं, और बुकिंग पीरियड को एनहांस भी किया है. इन सब कदमों के चलते ही हम ये इंश्योर कर पा रहे हैं कि सभी को गैस की आपूर्ति हो सके. as and when the situation will improve, government will take a decision on this booking period also. अगले दो सवाल almost same थे on the increased bill and the impact on the consumer, impact on the oil marketing company and the consumer. जैसा कि आपके प्रश्न से ही ये बात सामने आ रही है कि इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में वॉलेटिलिटी है और प्राइसेस बहुत इंक्रीज हुए हैं और जिसके परंतु भारत सरकार की ये कोशिश रही है कि आम उपभोक्ता को किसी कठिनाई का सामना न करना पड़े या कम से कम कठिनाई हो। इसके चलते हमारे जो प्राइसेस हैं वो भी स्टेबल हैं और बाकी जो इम्पैक्ट है दैट वी विल नो विद द टाइम। थैंक यू।
So the question which was addressed to me, in that respect, I'd like to inform that the production of urea during the month of March, it was about 16.50 LMT, and for the month of April, it is 21 LMT. I would also like to point out that it was almost the same during the same period last year. It was 21 LMT, so we have reached that level. Regarding the breakup of what has been produced so far after the crisis period, we have had the production of 62.37 LMT, out of which urea is 37.49 LMT, DAP is 4.79 LMT, NPK complex is about 12.69 LMT. So, and SSP, which is our own indigenous production, that is 7.40 LMT. Regarding the last question which you asked, that how would you meet the shortfall? Of course, we have already gone in for global tender and we have secured about 37 LMT of quantity. So, we'll be meeting the shortfall through imports.
Thank you, Mukesh.
Thank you, ma'am. दो सवाल पूछे गए थे, एक तो डिटेल्स ऑफ द ships for which we have come up this year we are planning to buy, and then whether these ships will be manufactured in India. These are two interconnected questions. Basically, if you remember, last year government came with a package of around 70,000 crore to develop the shipbuilding in our country. So there were four pillars of that. One was FBFAS, Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Scheme. So what happened that any order which is placed on any Indian shipyard, so some percentage of that purchase value subsidy is given to the shipyard, around 15 to 25% based on type of vessel. So that is basically on the purchase order placed on a Indian shipyard, maybe by a foreign country or by a company or by Indian company. Another was shipbuilding development scheme. So we are under this scheme, we are developing shipbuilding cluster. We wanted to increase the shipbuilding capacity in India from presently it is around 0.06 GT to 4.5 GT by 2047. Third one was Maritime Development Fund. So basically through this fund government will buy, not government, basically fund manager, they will buy some kind of equity in the shipping that. And the fourth one was basically reforms. And one of the very important part of the reform was demand aggregation. So now I'll come to the question which you have asked. So demand aggregation, in India, what is the problem that you wanted to make ship, but you don't have order. And for example, somebody has given a order for one ship and somebody has given a order for 4 ships. So one ship construction time will be, let's say, around 4 years. 2 ship, it will be hardly 5 years. And 3 ship, it will be, it's like that. Not exactly these timelines, but this kind of timelines are there. So the shipyards in India, they should have some kind of orders. So in order to, solve this problem, we aggregated the demand of 437 vessels till around 2041-42. It's a huge number, 437 vessels, in which oil and gas PSUs were around 59 vessels, SCI means Shipping Corporation of India, that is 216 vessels. PCSL, which container line which we are planning to launch, that was 51 vessel, and then major port they will buy green tugs 100, and then dredgers 11 numbers. So our effort is that these orders should go to domestic. But for example, somebody has to buy VLGC or VLCC. VLGC means very large crude carrier and very large gas carrier. So right now, these kind of vessels are not being manufactured in India. So now these orders should not go to foreign companies, or we should have some kind of manufacturing facility within India. So we are developing the ship manufacturing within our country, and we have also a target of floating tenders for 61 vessels, 62 vessels within this year, within 1 year. So and out of that, 1 minute. Out of that, already around 30 tender for 34 vessels have been floated. Now, in that one, some of the tenders like green tug, they have gone to domestic. Some vessels like container vessels. So container, we have ROFR clause in the tender. Means if the foreign company will participate, then Indian company has a chance to match the price. And over and above, then he will be getting assistance under SBFAS also. So basically, it is a big boost for Indian manufacturers. Then there are some tankers, medium range tanker. One is again in the tanker category also, two range are there. Medium range, very large crude carrier kind of thing. So medium range, again domestic has been placed. And for example, VLGC and VLCC are there. There we have given structured tender. Structured tender means, let's say 8 vessels are to be manufactured. Then okay, 2 you can make out of country. Then 6 you have to make within country. Because these tankers and they have got very specialized technology, very specialized manpower. It's not that today we come up with shipyard in India, then immediately they will start manufacturing. We need manpower also. Then again, some of the tenders are global with ROFR. So I hope I am able to explain to your question about the domestic portion. So most of the things are going domestic. There are certain things where domestic, if not possible, then structured tenders are there. Another question was whether well-being of Indian sailors on the foreign flagged vessels, those have been attacked. So Indian sailors are safe there on those ships. So I think So yeah, that question was there. So right now, we can give some kind of information if they are out of that Gulf, then we can. So right now we don't have any information on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you have one more question. Okay.
Just would like to have a clarification on 37 LMT fertilizer secured through global tender. It is of total fertilizers and not urea, right?
Sorry?
It is only urea.
Okay, all right then. Thank you, friends. Thank you, officers. Thank you all.